It's time for the Garage After Dark.
We're clear for takeoff.
That's all systems go. We need that AEW logo up. Stat.
You're watching the AEW Network.
Well. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this August 17th, 2024 edition of The Garage right here on the AFW Network. You guys know who I am, Mr. Saturday Night and Mr. Saturday Afternoon. I'm the effing expert, Mr. Isaacs.
And I am, of course, the patron saint of professional wrestling. I am that gingered up, bubbly son of a bitch on Canada effing dry. And I'd like to give a shout out to the man with the absolute worst takes around. Bad Take Kate.
Hell yeah. And guys, you know what we do. If you've tuned in to the program before, you know what we do here on the AFW Network. We have a threesome every Saturday night. Late night. That's how we do it, baby. And we do it with this gentleman right down here, a burly American hero. There's no other man I'd rather do a threesome with on earth. Go ahead and introduce yourself, fine sir.
You all know who it is. It's me. It's the EVP Joe, EVP of everything that is AFW. How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
He says it with such enthusiasm.
It's going to be a great show, gentlemen. We're going to go and talk about a lot of good stuff and, kind of purge some of the stuff that happened earlier. We're good. We're going to get some of that negative energy.
I love that's how you said just purge the stuff. We're just going to.
Just purge that negative energy because we don't do that on the garage.
Look, see that word behind me? Just got to have faith, you know.
Have faith, and well, George Michael.
There we go. Well, you triggered Canada Dry to start singing George Michael. So thank you for that. Really appreciate it.
Jim Joe's wife.
Hey, what's up?
For the first time ever, Jim Joe's like
Not
that's
first
what
time ever. First time in a long time.
Has she been on the garage before?
Oh no, maybe she's only done other shows. I don't. Yeah, you're right. Maybe she hasn't done the garage.
I don't recall ever seeing her on this one.
I don't recall ever seeing it. Like I've never seen the word Jim Joe's wife.
She has been on a couple shows before, but I don't think
and Jim Joe's wife has been there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what she made her name. But real quick before we go, who did it better, George Michael or was it Limp Bizkit that did the remix?
I love the Limp Bizkit version.
So do I. I mean, I like them both, but like. This is one of those instances where the remake is at least as good, and it doesn't completely just shit the bed.
Bro, I'm wearing a backwards red cap, and we're literally talking about Limp Bizkit. What are the odds of that?
It was meant to be.
Now, what do you guys think of the new AFW Network intro?
I love it.
I absolutely love it. That is spectacular. Bravo to you for that, because that is awesome.
You said you made that on your phone, right?
Yes, and all those voices are me.
That is outstanding to make on your phone. That is great quality.
And you can change the voice a little bit, as you can see it changed out at different places.
Not to sidetrack too much here right at the very beginning, but since we talked about Limp Bizkit, have either of you seen any of the viral clips going around of Corey Feldman opening up for them on their tour?
No, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
How old is Corey Feldman now?
Got to be 50-something, I would imagine.
You're right.
But, like, he's just... Have either of you seen Corey Feldman's music or, like, heard it or anything? Oh, my God. You've got to check this out. You've got to check this. I don't know. And here's the thing. When you listen to it and you see the videos, you're going to know what we're talking about here. I think Shane knows what I'm talking about. Like, you don't know if it's a joke, if it's a gag, Like, if he's just being a troll and he's aware of this, or if he's delusional and he's kind of crazy and he just doesn't realize he's absolutely fucking terrible.
Like, does he do like cover songs or is it original music? Or
It's his own music.
oh, okay.
And
So they're letting him go on just because he's Corey Feldman, pretty much.
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, I really think it's a troll job. I really do. But like, Corey Feldman is like, for one thing, he pretends he's Michael Jackson because that was his friend growing up. So like, he's got the hair growing out. He wears the glove. He does the same dancing. Like
It's about 1/10 of the charisma, probably.
What's that?
With like 1/10 of the charisma.
Oh, not even that.
But there's no child abuse going on here
no.
that we know of.
Right. And to be fair now, Corey Feldman said that Michael Jackson never did anything inappropriate with him. So,
Well, aren't they the same age?
no, they're not the same age. No, he was a kid whenever he visited Michael Jackson and was friends with
Oh,
him.
this was in the early days. Michael
To
was
be
just
fair,
getting up.
Corey
Yeah.
Feldman was like a kid actor, like phenom. So he probably blocked a lot of trauma out of his life.
Yeah.
No, but here's my thoughts on. We're going down a road here. Here's my thoughts on Michael Jackson and his victims. Are you gonna go for someone famous, or are you gonna go for someone not so famous that they kind of fly under the radar? Right?
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I mean, that's a decent point. Yeah. Because like the two well-known child actors that he did have friendships with, Corey Feldman and Macaulay Culkin, both said that he was never inappropriate with either one of them. I bet that would make sense though, because they're high-profile names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big would that be back then if either of these two people said Michael Jackson was like, it's so big because they're famous that it's going to be like boom.
Oh yeah, it would have blown the roof off the.
Yeah. So, but like some nobody saying this, they can kind of push it under the rug.
Yeah. Well, this is a whole can of worms that like.
Yes, right. Hey, we talked about Cosby on here before. So.
There's documentaries arguing both sides of this Michael Jackson allegation issue that you can check out.
Now, I enjoyed. Was it Finding Neverland? Or Leaving Neverland?
Leaving Neverland, I think is what it was called. The HBO one.
Yeah, that to me was the defining documentary.
Yeah.
Like that guy had nothing to gain in telling that story.
Yeah. But anyways, Corey Feldman, he absolutely sucks as a musician. And like you guys got to hear this shit. Like I'll send you clips when we're offline here because you got to hear this. It's outrageously bad. I'm looking in the chat here. We got Anthony in the house. What's up, buddy? Shane.
And Anthony Mozamo is back.
Yeah.
And he says, first of all, maybe Michael paid them off to say what you really believe that. Maybe.
I don't know. My favorite thing Corey Feldman ever did was he was the child Tommy Jarvis in Friday the 13th, Part 4, the final chapter, which is the best 80s slasher film, by the way. So, the best.
I'm just going to say this. Like, when it comes to Michael, there's a lot. It's mainly nothing but hearsay.
Yeah.
I don't know what to believe.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because there's strong evidence both sides. Or you believe he's guilty or you believe he's not guilty. There's pretty good evidence on both ends of it.
Like, I find that, like, if the people aren't famous, they're quickly thrown under the bus. But there's doubt brought into it when someone is famous.
There's also the element of the kids who weren't famous that made the allegations had tried. This is going down a weird road, but like one of the kid of the second allegation from the kid, supposedly like his family tried to extort Jay Leno before he met Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and that's the problem is like like when you have things in there, like you can easily try to make some money off of it. And even if you just hear that maybe Michael did this to someone else, you're like, well, did anything happen to you? And no, I don't think. Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And there's and you can look this up because you can look it up on Google. There was a Rolling Stone article from the early 90s about the first allegation as well. And there's some pretty disgusting stuff in there that the father allegedly did and everything. Well, so check that out if you're curious to know more. You can Google it and find it.
Yeah.
So that is your edition of hard copy for the night. You guys remember
starring Corey Feldman, Michael Jackson, and guest starring Macaulay Culkin.
You guys remember that show, Hard Copy?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like an early 90s like tabloid show that just talked about like Hollywood.
TMZ of its day.
I was like, it's like TMZ.
Yeah, it was like the TMZ of like 1992.
I think they even had Homer was on Hard Copy on The Simpsons.
Probably. Yeah, I mean The Simpsons. Look, this is something I said to my father the other night, and I'll get to that in a second. But there is nothing in life that you can't relate to either a Seinfeld episode or a Simpsons episode. I mean, seriously, any situation you could think of, you can see it in parody form on The Simpsons or Seinfeld. I guarantee it.
Which is interesting because there's churches that use The Simpsons to teach Sunday school.
All right.
They did clips and they're like, what should a Homer done here? Or what, like they put up little clips of The Simpsons and they talk about the moral ramifications of what they're supposed to do in that situation.
I never thought of that. I always just played VeggieTales for the little kids.
Yeah, look for clips of your Simpsons and, it's a little more pop culture. We'll get you a little more.
The point I was getting to, though, about that is that I don't know if I mentioned this briefly, very briefly on Magic earlier. I've got another mechanical issue with my damn truck. And I've got a coolant leak on my Ford F-150 attached to one of there's a couple turbo boosters on it. And one of the cables connecting the coolant to the turbo is, I guess, leaking. And I've got to get it fixed. So I've got an appointment with the dealer.
Are you mechanically inclined at all?
Not really, no. And plus, too, this is like a proprietary, like a major job that like a Ford dealer has to do it. A local garage literally turned me away and said, we can't do that.
There's some that do that, like Jeep. A lot of people won't work. They're like, go to a Jeep dealership. Just go have them.
Well, apparently it's really hard to get to this particular cord. Like the way it's placed under the vehicle, it's like really difficult to get to.
They do that now. Like I remember when I was a kid, like engines there was plenty of space for you to be able to work on. And now, like you can't even get a freaking wrench in there to do something. Like you're almost forced to go to a shop.
The guy told me, he's like, they're probably going to have to take the casing off the front of your vehicle. I was like, oh shit. That's going to be probably at least $1,000, I would say. But what that relates to in terms of a Seinfeld episode is, do you remember when they were driving the vehicle and it was overheating and they were delivering blood from a blood bank and they put the blood in the vehicle because it was overheating? That's what that reminded me of, because my truck was overheating because the coolant was leaking out. So I was like, if I just had some of that damn blood like Kramer used, I could just throw it in here and be fine.
You got 2 pints of Kramer in you, buddy.
Anthony, I see people giving me shit here.
Now your wife is quoting the old "Found on Road Dad" Ford.
Do you know what the other Ford acronym is?
What's
Have an old rebuilt Dodge.
Oh, that or fix or repair daily.
Yeah. I like the F and old rebuilt Dodge.
I never heard of that one before.
I dearly love my Ford F-150, but it is costing me a lot of money. I have to say. I might have to look into getting a Dodge Ram at some point.
Apparently, Anthony wants us to read a comment.
Which one?
When you guys look at Hook, do you feel he's a carbon copy of his father, like you see with Breaker? that we're saying he's basically his uncle. I don't think so at all.
Not
think
with,
he looks
not
anything
with
like
Hook, no.
Taz.
Like Braun Breaker, absolutely. He's a spitting image of his uncle.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I think
Braun is a Steiner.
yeah,
through and through.
there's no way they can deny that boy. It just can't happen.
I don't think Hook looks like Taz. The only thing that really reminds me of Taz with Hook is just the fact that he's a judoka like his father, and he does a lot of judo stuff, a lot of throws, the Guji Katami, does the, all the different judo throws and sweeps and all that. Like I've said before, he looks like Ronda Rousey when he wrestles because he literally does that same thing.
We got to put this to bed once and for all here. Now, I personally like the Chevys because I don't like how I think that the Chevy trucks are poorly made. They're cheap. And I don't like those square wheel wells. I think those are ugly.
Look, all trucks have problems. I know that people get tribal when it comes to trucks, just like wrestling. It's like, I don't like Fords. Fuck Ford. I'm a Chevy guy. And then another dude's like, I don't like Chevys. They're fucking stupid.
You know what?
I like Dodge. And
you know what? Just give me a 90s truck when it was made of metal and they lasted forever. As opposed to now where everything's plastic.
Yeah. Well,
yeah. People are definitely tribalistic when it comes to vehicles.
Oh yeah, especially trucks.
Yeah.
Especially trucks.
Okay,
yeah.
Real quick, but before we go on, I found out something about Braun Breaker that makes me love him even more. Because y'all know I love Braun Breaker, but he was on the Ravens practice squad.
Oh wow, awesome. Yeah, I think I remember him playing in college because I think I remember reading articles about him when he was playing. Didn't he play for God, who did he play for?
Now, who are you talking about, Joe's wife?
She's probably talking about me.
Sound like an old grumpy man.
Sir, what is your wife's first name? Because I don't feel comfortable calling her GM Joe's wife.
My wife's name is Tiffany.
Tiffany. All right. It's Tiffy time.
It's Tiffy time.
Yeah, she was referring to you.
Yeah, of course.
Shane says
that about anybody else.
Every brand is trash these days, including the expensive brand, but I'm a General Motors tribalistic. Okay. You're a General Motors guy, huh? Like, is General Motors like the big one in Canada?
I feel
I was gonna say he's General Motors because he's in Canada. That's all they got up there.
That's what I was wondering.
Ford is big.
Ford's big in Canada.
It's Detroit. Ford. It's like right by the border, right?
No. Ford is very popular here. My brother drives a Ford pickup. So, yeah, a lot of Fords.
I've never had a Chevy in my life. My dad never drove a Chevy. My mom had one Chevy. She had a Chevy Camaro back in the 80s, like the old school 80s Camaros. She had one of those that was pretty dope.
I think she's in Yas to my Tiffy time thing, maybe.
Yes, she is.
Well, what do you guys drive? EVP Joe, what do you drive?
Right now I have a Jeep Compass and my wife drives a Chevy Equinox. No, not a Chevy Equinox. Oh God, I'm drawing a blank. I'm tired. What? An Eclipse Cross. There we go.
Okay. Canada, do you drive anything?
I don't actually drive.
Okay.
My first car though was a '98 Ford Mustang.
Nice.
So was mine.
And I drove it, and then I had to get a new car when the motor block cracked and I started getting oil in my antifreeze. I was like, oh, that's going to be too expensive to fix.
My first car was also a '98 Ford Mustang.
Wow.
Yep. I got it as a graduation gift when I graduated high school.
That's a really good gift.
Yep. My dad went and bought a '98 Mustang and brought it home for me.
Now, was it a 5 liter?
Was it what?
A 5 liter?
Or
was that like the lower down model?
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Did it have pep to it, or was it a little bit gutless?
It had some pep in its step for sure. Yeah.
All I know is when I got the car and took it over to my dad's house, he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go take it for a test drive." He was going for about a half hour.
All right, we're 20 minutes in, guys. I think it's time to talk about the first match.
Okay.
Are you sure? Are
I
you
think
sure
so.
that like Ford and our vehicles is
Listen, we're gonna have lots of other rabbit trails here,
the
so
Britt Baker versus Harley Cameron?
we're gonna have other rabbit trails. Trust me.
Match number 1, we got Dr. Britt Baker DMD defeating Harley Cameron. And yeah, this to me, this match was all right. I mean, it was nice to see Harley Cameron wrestle, I guess. I don't see her wrestle very often. Britt Baker's just okay. I don't think
Harley
she's terrible.
Cameron has a lot of potential.
Yeah, she's got a great look for sure.
Yeah.
But this match was okay. I mean, of course, DMD goes over. Camille comes out at the end. Britt Baker gets out a kendo stick to try to meet her in the aisle and attack her. She catches it, snaps it over her knee. Shivani acts like this is the most amazing thing he's ever seen in his life. And she kicks DMD in the face, and then that's the end of the segment. EVP, what'd you think of this?
It was very well. The match was what it was. I want to talk about the post match. Like, it was awkward. Like, Camille comes down, stands there. Britt is just sitting there, like for a good 15 seconds before. It's like Camille forgot she was supposed to snap the kendo stick over her leg or something.
Yeah, they had a weird stare down for
It was
a period of time.
It was just very awkward. But I'm ready for this match at All In, so that's what I'm waiting for. Hopefully it'll be good, because I'm just Britt Baker. She doesn't really do anything memorable for me. She's just there. She's not a very good face. I think I like her more as a heel.
I don't think she's very likable, honestly.
Now, is this because of these allegations that have come out?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't
absolutely
bother me.
is.
Doesn't bother me any. I just never really thought she was a great wrestler to begin with.
Because she had a lot of good momentum and positive vibes before that news came out.
Well, and to be clear, too, this is like the 3rd or 4th kind of incident that she's allegedly had as well. I mean, it's just the others were kind of in the past, but then we see
the others we kind of cheered for her because of who else was involved.
When she may have been the problem all along.
Yeah.
Could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Been several issues involving other people and Britt Baker. What's the common denominator here?
Yeah. Well, listen, we're not letting Thunder Rosa off the hook. No way.
Oh, I know. I know you hate Thunder Rosa. I know. But, Thunder
Rosa has had her issues with other people as well.
Yeah. And so was Britt Baker. I think they're both probably.
So it's like
to deal with.
The immovable object meets the undeniable force, right?
Canada, what do you think of this match?
As I said, I'm really I'm liking what I'm seeing from Harley Cameron. She's got a big personality. She's got loads of, she can sing, she can rap. Like she's loaded with talent.
Oh yeah, she does do the singing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, she can get her wrestling down. If she can get her wrestling down, she could be a superstar in wrestling, because she's got the look. She's got everything, but in this, she got her ass kicked. And the match wasn't nothing special. And I'm glad that they finally had Camille come like a badass, because on Dynamite, it seemed weird that she wasn't like being the heavy. So I don't know if this is to fix that, because they did say something on Bubba Ray said it, and he was like, yeah, she needed to be more like China and not be backing up.
Right.
But yeah, I thought they redeemed that and really established Camille as a badass. Even though there was that awkward moment where it seemed like Britt or Camille forgot what was coming next.
I would have stared at you for 5 seconds before.
There was also that moment when Britt Baker's looking for the kendo stick under the ring. I'm like, you better go faster than that if this woman's coming to get you.
I thought like Camille's going to walk up behind her and then just awkwardly stand there and wait for her to find the object.
That was like the theme of the night. People not being able to find things under the ring.
Yeah, there were some sloppy moments on the show. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, in closing
hold on
here,
for 1 second. Did you guys see the Harley Cameron and Sarayas segment from last night?
No,
I
man,
did.
I didn't watch Rampage last night.
That was hilarious when Cameron called Saraya a loser by mistake. She's like, I'm not a loser.
I did see that. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Thought that was pretty good. Cameron is looking pretty good with the mic.
She's got charm to her for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Khan definitely feels like she's behind Harley because every time I see her wrestle, she's dominating for like the first couple minutes in matches. Like whether it's against everyone, it's like, why are you sitting here getting this much offense in on someone when you're clearly not the main point of the women's division at the moment? So
I thought it was cool. Again, Monet and Camille were had the red theme going on. I'm digging Mercedes and the red, and then Camille's hair was red too. So like it matched. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yep, I liked it.
Yep. Aaron, do you like it?
Yeah.
He's like, if it's not Markova, I don't like him.
Speaking of Markova, did you see the picture of her and $1 Million Man?
No.
Yeah, she just posted a picture of her.
Oh, was that today?
I don't know if she looked really good because $1 Million Man looked so bad.
Oh.
It's like I remember there was an SNL like, if you get a fat friend to hang out with, you'll look a lot better.
It makes you look better.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a skit where all these pretty girls were getting fat friends to hang out with, so they would look prettier.
That sounds like something from the 90s for sure.
Yeah,
it absolutely was from the 90s.
It definitely not from the 2020s. That's for sure.
Did you know that Jack Black is ashamed of his part in the movie? What's it called? Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal, yeah.
Well, this is a freaking great movie. And all these actors are like, "Oh, I'm so ashamed I was part of that."
Yeah, that's not gonna fly today.
Not ashamed enough to return all the money they made up.
No,
of course.
But I thought that had a great moral behind it, though.
Right.
Like that's what I loved about it. The moral behind it is seeing past the ugly, seeing the beauty inside.
I'm going to say for a minute, I thought you were going on a totally different track with Jack Black. I'm glad you didn't.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, oh god, we can't be talking about that.
Oh, do you not hear what his bandmate did?
I think I vaguely know of this.
They canceled their tour
in Australia. It was his bandmate's birthday, and they said make a wish, and he said, "I hope he doesn't miss next time," in reference to the attempted assassination of President Trump.
And it was the same night.
Yeah, it was like
night.
Hours later.
Yeah, you gotta keep think those thoughts. Don't say them.
Yeah, you don't say that out loud.
They literally canceled the rest of their tour after that.
Well, you know why? Because they lost their insurance.
Oh yeah,
because of that.
Oh, because people were worried that something could happen to them.
I think so. Yeah, I just know they lost their tour insurance, therefore they couldn't keep going.
The other thing is you're ostracizing some of your fans.
Yeah, it's stupid.
I mean, it's 50% of the country. Whether you agree with them or not, it's 50% of this country. So
yeah, like when you are, I feel like when you are elevated to stardom, there's a certain part of you that needs to shut up about politics.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, regardless of if you're on the right or the left or the middle or, libertarian or whatever, half the country is one way, half the country is the other way, at least in some part of the spectrum. So, you really need to be careful with that kind of stuff.
To keep it about wrestling, The Rock said that he regrets backing Biden last election because he doesn't want to influence people's votes.
Yeah.
There's some weird stats.
Yeah.
Are you talking about The Rock?
Yeah.
And then he caught flack for that from The View. Sheesh, they was mad at him.
Well, like, I think, like, you know,
like, I'm sorry, you have to be weak-minded if you're letting celebrities tell you what to think.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. That's what this whole American politics is built on. You got Jesse the Body Ventura as governor. You got Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, this is what the only reason Donald Trump is even in there is because he's a bit of a celebrity. Like, it's all about that.
There is an element of the American political system that basically there's a few different ways that you could really get in. You know, if you're like a lawyer, you can get in. If you're a big businessman, you could get in. Or if you have some kind of name value of any type, whether it's celebrity or whatever, you can get in. So, yeah.
Because like, imagine Tom Hanks saying, "I'm running for president."
Yeah.
Like, they would be all over that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see someone like Ben Affleck. You know, he's a very political guy, very articulate. I could see him running for office one day. I mean, you just never know, right?
Yeah.
What if we had Ben Affleck versus Kid Rock?
Jim's wife says Wilson for president.
Wilson, no. All right, we got match.
I think your wife would be a hoot on this show.
She doesn't like being on camera, though. I've tried to get her to come on. She won't do it.
You know, she doesn't have to she could put up the little
yeah, she could just have like
an audio only thing. Yeah,
she could just talk.
Maybe I'll talk to her, see if we can get her on.
Yeah.
What you can do is you can pull up Microsoft Paint and just do like a black background and just draw like a woman's face and put EVP's wife on top.
No, listen. She's saying no thanks. Well, imagine the segment. It's Tiffy time. And we bring you in, and
hey, we've had the boy on here before.
Yeah,
and he's fantastic when he's on here. Yeah. We'll just have the whole family on. The AFW network is a family network. All right.
Oh. Jim can grab a puppet and do the murder for his wife with the puppet.
Oh,
that would be hilarious. Like a girl puppet.
Joe would be joining me in the divorcee line.
and Midget Tiff will get just there's another Tiffy time.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you're allowed to call her Midget Tiff.
Well, we didn't do it. Shane did it. So
yes, exactly. But Shane, I don't think we're allowed to say that.
Yeah, I think
we have vertically challenged.
We got to say little people. All right,
little person Tiff. It's fine.
You know, big people or like big world, little people or whatever that show was. We got to call them little people. All right. Brought to you by the AFW Network.
Right here.
Short stuff, Tiff.
Oh,
AFW Network.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, match number 2.
Match number 2. I love how Aaron was kind of like pushing me before when we were talking about trucks, and now we're talking about like little people instead of talking about match number 2. Match number 2 for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship. Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara defeated the Undisputed Kingdom.
Did you say Guevara?
Guevara. Guevara.
Like there's a Q in there?
Sammy Guevara.
There's like a W that's not there. That's
Guevara.
there.
Yeah.
I've always called him Sammy Guevara.
Nah, Gua.
How Canadian am I, right? Sammy
You're going to have to learn some Spanglish, pal.
Yes,
all right?
Yes.
It's Guevara.
I mean, well, to be fair, we all say Mexico wrong, so it's okay.
Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico. It's something weird saying it like that. Mexico. I was so pissed at myself the other day. So you know how like it's not called pho for soup. Yeah, it's called pho, and I called it pho, and I was pissed off.
Oh.
I might go for pho for lunch, And I was like, I hate myself right now because I find it so pretentious that people don't call. No, it's actually called pho.
Like, what really throws me for a loop is the hero sandwich. You know, it's spelled like gyro.
Yeah.
Oh, Euro.
Some people call it Euro. Some people say Euro. Some people say hero. Like,
I've never heard it called the hero sandwich because that's actually a hero sub that you could get as a type of sandwich.
Yeah.
I've heard people say it before.
I read the gyro, I think we call it.
Yeah, like a gyroscope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shane
And
says
he had a gyro earlier today.
he says, but there's a wrestling organization called Midget Wrestling. I haven't heard of that one. I've heard of Micro Championship Wrestling because they come to Kentucky quite a bit.
I love that
Of
name.
course they would. No.
Micro Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, they've come here probably 2 or 3 times in the past year or two.
Do you know the only problem with the term micro?
What's that?
It kind of makes me think of the term micro penis.
No.
That's what it makes me think. It leads me down that road.
When you hear the word micro, you automatically think the following word is penis. Like
or machine. Micro machine.
Right. You
Or
don't think
micro penis.
microscope, your brain immediately goes to micro penis.
Micro penis, micro machine. Those two.
But penis first, to be clear.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I think of microwave, when I cook my food.
Microwave. Yeah, there's a lot of micros you could go to before penis.
Well, I just think they're an interesting problem.
I thought you were just going to say, I think they're interesting.
No, they're an interesting problem. Like I was told by this girl, like she was dating this guy, and one thing led to another. He unzips his pants, and she's like, "Holy shit, it's so small!" It was this big, and like you got to be like warn them or something, right, before you just right.
You know what?
So,
I am so glad tonight that I have my son's phone and he's not watching right now.
I was going to say, like Roman's not watching, right?
No, his phone is charging, so no, he is not watching.
Because we've been talking about penises for 5 minutes. So,
I think it's the same situation as like a trans person who's still got the stuff down there. You got to let them know.
Shane says that he's used to being called micro penis by people.
Where's this?
It's in the comments.
Oh,
I
there
can't.
we are.
Yeah.
I'm used to being called. Now, Shane, is this true? Because maybe we could bring you on an episode and we'll have a whole micro penis.
I sense a new gimmick. No.
Oh my God, gentlemen, we have gone off the rails here. But hey, that's what we do on the garage, right here on the AFW network.
I don't understand how we went from talking about Sammy Guevara to micro penises. I don't
It became the micro wrestlers. Things. The trigger things.
Yeah.
I really like that name, but then it does send me on a different wavelength mentally.
Clearly.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, getting back to the wrestling here, not the micro wrestling, the micro penis wrestling, but
Micro penis wrestling is coming to Alabama.
Anyways, Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara win the titles. I'm going to be honest. I had to step out of the room for a little bit, so I missed the majority of this match. So I'm just going to let you two comment on it.
Akiyaka said, "My boyfriend lost his man goods." What does this mean?
I wouldn't be saying that out loud. Just saying.
Now, how did he lose his man goods?
And is this just his balls, or is this his?
Is this a Lorena Bobbitt issue?
Right.
The pork and beans vanished somehow. Like what happened here?
Yeah, like this is the kind of comments we want on the AFW network.
Shane says so. He's neutered. Oh my God!
When I first got Fruit Cat, I was promised that he was fixed,
and he had balls.
But it was matted back there, so I couldn't see.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was like, shit, that's going to cost me like $100.
The cat had hidden balls, and he didn't discover it till later.
Yeah, I had to take him and get him fixed.
Oh, my God. Poor Fruit Cat.
It was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Canada Dry,
So-
what'd you think of this match?
Which one are we talking about?
We were talking
ROH
about
tag
the
title match.
Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara versus the
Yes.
Undisputed Kingdom.
Yes, let's talk some wrestling here on Saturday night. I think that this was a really good match. I liked seeing Dustin. I like seeing Sammy back. I think it's good. I think Sammy gets a lot of heat, but I think he deserves a fresh start, and this is a good way to do it. Bring him up to Ring of Honor, Collision, and everyone loves Dustin, so like this is a good thing. Like I love this match, and I was shocked though that they won the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, especially with Dustin already being a trios champion.
Dude, they're just gonna put all the belts on Dustin.
Yeah.
All the
So
ROH
he's
belts.
he's a double champ in Ring of Honor now, right?
Yeah.
Trios
He's got the
champion,
six
tag
man
champion.
and the tag.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. EVP, what'd you think?
This match reminded me of an ending of WCW Nitro. My
Ooh.
gosh. You had Sammy and Dustin, you had the Kingdom, you had the rest of the Kingdom come out, you had the conglomeration come out. There's like 20 people at ringside. It was just
Didn't Brian Cage and
Brian Cage and
the
the Gates of Agony came down. There's just like you couldn't keep track of how many people came down. This was like an old school NWO versus WCW locker room brawl, and I loved it. Like it was so much fun just to see everybody out there. I mean, and it makes sense, give the two Texas boys a hometown win. Plus, it gets the belts off of the Kingdom now that they can just focus on doing their thing on Dynamite or whatever. Hopefully, just focus on the Kingdom because apparently Adam Cole is coming back soon.
Do you want to tell how you got into podcasting there, Graham?
Canada Dry asked me to come on one day.
That's the story.
That's the God honest truth.
That was riveting.
He went to the AFW School of Broadcasting and passed JFB's 16-week course, and then we allowed him to come on the program.
Do you know what
By the
course
skin
I
of
like?
my teeth, I passed.
Do you know what my favorite section of that course is?
What is it?
Waxing poetic class.
That's very important.
Yep.
Waxing poetic is
Real
one of
quick.
my favorite.
Real quick before we move on, I just want to say the dark match was Dustin Rhodes' two nephews had a tag match, tryout match. So
Oh, Dustin's some more Rhodeses.
Yep.
Dustin's nephews. What is it? Their sister's kids or something?
I would think so.
Because they just have a sister, right? Dustin and Cody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One that gets mistaken for the porn star quite often.
Yeah.
Doesn't Dustin also have a hottie daughter?
Yeah. Dakota Rhodes, I think is her name.
She's hot.
Yeah, it's his daughter with what's her name? Marlena Terry Runnels. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that explains why. She's
Yeah. They very briefly did a podcast together. Terry Runnels and Dakota.
Do you know who else I like? Is Mick Foley's daughter.
Oh, Noelle Foley.
Noelle Foley's a hottie.
She wanted to be a wrestler for a year or two, and then I think health issues knocked her out of it.
She was dating Frank the Clown.
Yeah.
What?
Yep. He was in the wrestling too, so.
Who's Frank the Clown?
He's just this goofy, shitty indie wrestler that dressed like a clown.
He literally dressed. He does his face painting like a clown.
Yeah, that's her boyfriend.
Well, is she still with him?
I think so.
Son of a bitch.
Moving on, we've got the FTW.
No, Foley, you can have all this. Come on.
He won't even wear clown makeup.
I won't.
Yeah. I mean, who wants to?
We got filters that can do that kind of stuff for you.
Who wants to go home to a clown every night, guys? Come on.
I hate clowns.
Literally to say, look at the clown that she's dating.
How'd that clown pull that chick?
Yeah,
Huh?
right?
Explain that. We got FTW champion Chris Jericho with Renee backstage, and he cuts a promo on Tommy Billington and talks about how he knows the real Dynamite Kid, and if the real Dynamite Kid was alive, he wouldn't like him because that's not his kind of guy.
He wasn't trained properly.
Yeah, he's got to learn. He needs to come under the learning tree.
So,
So
before we go on, I gotta ask, Canada Dry. I wish we could have recorded this. What was your honest to God reaction when Chris Jericho said, "I'm a modern day Stu Hart"?
I'm like, damn straight he is.
Yeah, he called himself a modern day Stu Hart and said that Dynamite Kid would be Dynamite done.
Now, did you guys hear the story that Tommy Billington did not want to be called the Dynamite Kid?
No.
I heard you mention it. Yes.
Yeah. So what happened was he's hanging out with Bret Hart after his AEW tryout, and Bret says, "You need to be the Dynamite Kid. You have to be this. This is what you are." He's like, even the way you walk, even the way you move, he's like, it's blowing my mind.
He looks just like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
does.
like,
he works just like him too.
When Bret Hart tells you this is going to work for you and it's going to pay off, you listen.
Yeah.
His body movements in the ring look just like Dynamite Kid. Like, it's kind of eerie. Like, he looks so much like him. Like, you would think it was his son, not his nephew, but
how cool would it be if they went and signed Harry Smith now and put that tag team together?
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I don't know why Harry Smith isn't like, I mean, he's a pretty decent talent. I don't know why he's not really been doing much.
Is he still in MLW or is he sort of like just floating around?
I think he left MLW. I don't think he's with them anymore.
Maybe.
He was in NWA for a while before he went to WWE again.
He had a very brief stint in New Japan.
He went back to WWE and they never used him.
Yeah, they kept him for like a year.
Catering and then they fired him.
I think this was all about that British Bulldog documentary, and that's the only reason they did it.
It might have been.
You're right.
That's a possibility. Yeah.
And the Hall of Fame, it looks good to have the son and part of the roster.
Yeah.
The last thing I even remember him doing was at that Ric Flair's last match. He wrestled Karrion Kross. That's the last thing I even remember him doing, and that was, 2 years ago?
Yeah, the last time I remember, he was in the NWA, and he was in the. I think him and actually even won the what's it called, that trophy they do for tag team.
Cup?
Yes, he actually won the Crockett Cup with his tag team partner.
Wow.
I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him come to AEW, team up with Dynamite Kid. I mean, the AEW tag division needs some fresh faces.
Absolutely.
Welcome, Robert Brown. We haven't seen you here. We always welcome new people, new faces. So thanks for watching.
Yeah. Welcome in.
What's up, man? Thank you for tuning into the program right here on the AFW Network. We're talking about a host of things, whether it be little people, micro penises.
We run the gamut of
collision. So, moving on, we've got Hologram defeating Angelico. Let me guess, Canada Dry. You call him Angelico, right?
They call him Angelico on commentary.
Yeah, it's
Angelico. I prefer Angelico.
Yeah, that's how you're supposed to say it, Angelico.
But isn't a Spanish name?
Yes,
but he's not. He's South African, right?
Yeah, but he trained in Mexico.
Isn't he South American?
No, he's South African.
South African. That's why it always confused me. Like, you're not Spanish.
He's South African, but he trained in Mexico, so that's why he's Angelico. All
right, I gotcha. And his poor training partner Jack Evans, like, got in trouble with
prison in Mexico.
Got in trouble with like the Mexican authorities and disappeared. Nobody's heard from him in years. So, I don't guess we're ever going to see that poor guy again. But Hologram and Angelico, this was a typical kind of lucha style match. I thought this was pretty good. I mean, it wasn't anything mind blowing. Just kind of showing off the hologram and what he can do. And I'm liking this hologram guy. I like him. I think they're doing a good thing. They're building up a lucha guy that's actually interesting and not just putting him out there, just having him flip and then that's it. So I'm liking it. I like the entrance. I like the gimmick. I like the name. And I think the kid's pretty good. Canada, what do you think?
It's interesting that they're choosing this guy instead of like Drew Listico or Commander or even Bandito.
Well, those guys all disappeared.
Yeah, like these guys were all like.
Well, I think I heard the story like this hologram character is something that Tony Khan has wanted to do for a very long time. So I think that's part of the push behind it because it's genuinely 100% his creation.
I love Bandito. I'd love to see him come back. But Bandito's also, of course, tied to AAA. So probably not going to happen.
So, yeah. The other thing is he kind of looks a bit like the superhero Kick-Ass.
Yeah, he does. If he had like a green outfit, yeah, he would be Kick-Ass.
Is a hologram fan.
I will say, I feel like he has gotten more comfortable every week, but I'm curious to see how he's received outside of Texas. If it'll carry over to different cities.
Yeah, because he spent all of his time here.
Solely been at this esports arena.
Well, hopefully he gets a good reaction whenever he goes elsewhere. I guess they're done with the Collision residency. Are they going to go to different places now every week?
Yeah, I think they're resuming the touring.
I like the look of this at this esports arena. Like, I like it. I think they ought to consider making that a permanent place for Collision.
Now, I can't help but think that this Arlington deal had something to do with the All-In deal.
It did. It absolutely did.
Yeah.
Which it totally makes way more sense now.
Well, Arlington, Texas is like almost like the suburbs of Dallas.
It is the suburb of Dallas.
Yeah. So it's all interconnected. In fact, the Texas Stadium is actually in Arlington. It's not actually in Dallas proper. So
you're going to get a lot of the Dallas proper coming into Arlington.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much all the same thing. It's just got a different name. Yeah.
I mean,
Robert
I was
Brown
looking at
wants
tickets.
to know what kind of music do we like?
I'm mostly a metal guy, but I like everything.
I listen to everything, almost everything. Like, I like country, 90s rap. I don't like this mumble rap crap that we have now.
Do you like ska?
No.
I mean, if you put it on, I might listen to it. I won't understand a word that's being said, but
I like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. Remember them?
yes, that's about the only ska music I know, to be honest with you.
I pretty much like everything as well. It's like the country music to rap to,
90s R&B, 90s hip hop.
I mean, I'll go from listening to Slayer to listening to like Alan Jackson later in the same day.
Tupac's got some good shit out there.
I love Tupac. Yeah.
Like I said, 90s rap.
I grew up on Tupac, dude. Like that was huge.
Tupac, Biggie, Dre, Snoop.
You know what I like?
Rap.
Bone Thugs and Harmony. I thought they were freaking cool when they first came out.
I really only know their one song.
Yeah, me too. But I thought it was so new. It was so unique for the time. Like,
what was cool is that they're like the only rappers that they had a song with Tupac and they had a song with Biggie on. I mean, like around the same time.
That's crazy.
Because they had that big beef, so most of those guys didn't talk to each other, right?
East Coast,
but
West
they had
Coast.
the ability to do both.
But Bone Thugs and Harmony, Bone Thugs and Harmony is on Tupac's major album, All Eyes on Me, and they're also on Life After Death by Biggie. So, little hip hop trivia there for you, who kind of bridged the gap between those two.
Too bad they couldn't bring them together.
This episode of The Garden of Dark is brought to you by Bone Thugs and Harmony.
The Crossroads. That is a great song, though.
Yeah.
It's one of those great 90s.
I'm going to listen to it straight after this because some vibes going.
I'll say, but yeah, like if you look at some of my playlists that like YouTube auto generates, it's all over the place.
Same. Yeah. Especially when my kids get on my music account and start listening to their shit, and it like really, really messes up my algorithm.
So you got that Baby Shark going, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I get
Can
Baby
you sing
Shark.
the Baby
up.
Shark song for us?
No.
That's a hard pass.
I have heard that probably 10,000 times in the past several years. Yeah.
Is it on your pet peeves?
No, I wouldn't call it a pet peeve. It's just something that I've just heard so many times. I kind of block it out now whenever it's going on. I've just
You're
got
not like driving down the road, Baby Shark.
No. Sometimes my kid will be playing it in the back seat on her iPad while I'm playing actual music in the truck. And I just turn the music up. Well, she doesn't mind. She loves metal. She's a metalhead. So, correction. No
Robert Brown has a correction for you. He says Tupac appeared on Bone Thugs Harmony album.
Pretty sure Bone Thugs was on one of Tupac's records too. Pretty certain of it.
I have to look it up. Both.
Yeah, it might have been both. Who knows? But the bottom line is they worked with both guys around the same time they were beefing. That was the whole point. So, moving on. We've got a little video package highlighting the danger of the Tiger Driver 91. They're really, really building a lot about Tiger Driver 91 here. So,
I mean, that's the story going into All In. So
yeah, the story is based around the move, which is kind of interesting. So I would assume that whoever wins, which is probably going to be Ospreay, they're probably going to have him do the Tiger Driver 91. So, non-title match. Jack Perry defeated Danny O'Ryan, who apparently the crowd loved. But I looked down at my phone and looked up, and this match was over.
I'm sorry. Before we talk about this match, can we talk about where this guy is hailed from, please?
Yeah. What was they said?
I put it in our chat. Let me pull it up real quick.
Like Dallas Singles or something.
Yeah, it was like
that.
DallasSingles.com.
Like Tony Khan went on like some Tinder site and found this dude and was like, "Hey, do you want to come wrestle?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, sure." And he shows up, and it's like, "This isn't what I had in mind."
Dallas's website that Dallas finds all his men at.
Possible. Who knows?
Guys, this isn't exactly what I had in mind, but I guess we'll do it out in the ring in front of people. Anyways, this was a squish. There wasn't really anything to it. I guess what we could really talk about is what happened afterwards when he beat this poor kid. He got out a can of spray paint, started spraying the kid in the face.
Half white.
Yeah, half white, like Darby. And put him inside of a body bag, a green body bag, and zipped it up with the TNT belt in it. And the body bag had Darby written on it. Then he proceeds to pull out his own shitty looking version of the TNT belt.
Well, it's a take on the House of Torture.
It looks like a replica belt with like purple crayon scribbled over the middle. Like that's what it looks like.
I thought it looked great.
I like it. Like I like the flat black. Like I think it's different. So I kind of dig it.
I don't understand the point.
I don't mind it for these I don't want it as the permanent belt, but I don't mind these belts that come along that are just there for a season.
For the longest time, that was the best thing about the TNT title. Every new champion had their own personalized belt.
Yeah.
Like you had the Lakers colors, you had Rusev's Bulgarian flag title, like the colors from there. Like I like it.
Shane likes it as well. Robert Brown has an interesting question. Why didn't he do the title switch at All In? Maybe he's not going to win it.
Because he's going to lose.
Darby more.
I mean,
I would say Darby's going to win.
A very interesting time to do to pull out the new title. You think he would have did this like after he won it, maybe? Because
if you look at that title, that looks like Darby all over that title. Like that looks like it's designed for him. Rather,
You know what I probably would have done? After Blood and Guts, when Darby poured all that gas all over him, I would have played off as that changing something in Jack Perry, and that's when he brought out this new title.
Right.
I would have had shattered glass all over the front of it.
It just, to me, it seemed random, and I thought the belt looked like shit. I'll just be the lone dissenter here.
Hey, it's okay to not think the same. We're
Of
all
course.
Yeah.
Cool
That's what
heads
makes us a
prevail, okay?
brotherhood.
Let's fight.
You motherfucker, I said the belt looked like shit.
I say something pretentious.
Orion was billed from DallasSingles.com, according to this article.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We got a video package around the recent events surrounding the AEW Trios titles. House of Black and Bang Bang Gang had separate promos.
I love this concept of interweaving two promos into one video.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was fun.
It's pretty slick. Yeah, not bad. Not bad. I liked it. It ended with Brody King asking Cage if he felt nostalgic. And Christopher Daniels then announced that the Patriarchy would defend the AEW Trios titles at All In a London Ladders match. So,
But there's going to be 4 teams.
Now,
yeah,
this match is this is going to be cool.
To be determined in a wild card match. Yeah.
So, who could be this third team?
I know who I want it to be.
Who do you want to be?
I want it to be BCC with a returning Moxley.
But
I could see
Castanoli
and
Wheeler?
and Yuta, because obviously Danielson has the world title match. But I could see it being Top Flight with their Halloween spirit costumes. I don't know of any other
I think they kind of look like they were going to be in a particular kind of adult movie. A kind that only had males in it. It's kind of what it looked like to me.
Or that, or they look like they're ready for some Chippendales. Those are the only 2 trios I can really think of.
The Cage of Agony.
Yeah,
they could be a good in there just to do their role.
I like the idea of BCC because that's the highest profile names that we've spit out here as possibilities. I mean, are they really going to not have those guys on the Wembley card? Surely not.
I think that's but it looked like he wants. Oh, it's weird that Okada's not on the card.
Yeah, I was thinking about that tonight too. I was like, why the hell is Okada not an All In? Like, is he going to be in that Battle Royal or something?
He's going to be in that gauntlet match because all the rumors are they really want to load this gauntlet match with a lot of talent.
You know what I like about this All In thing is they are trying to include as many wrestlers as possible.
Dude, there's going to be like 100 wrestlers on this card.
That's what they got to do.
With the gauntlet, the tag match, and
so you figure the trios match, that's 12. The tag title match, that's 6. So that's 18 right there. And there's at least going to be at least 10 in the gauntlet match, at least.
But I also don't think they have enough women's matches compared to
Yeah, they
got what, 2?
Three women's matches.
3, yeah.
What
they
are
got
the 3
mixed
matches?
tag
One's in the buy-in.
Willow and Stat in the tag match. Oh, TBS and the world title match.
Yeah, that's about average. Like 3 matches involving women.
I'm looking forward to a women's gauntlet match. I think that could be fun.
Yeah,
just not on the same card. I hate that WWE does that.
I agree.
I think it's too much. It's going to water down the concept.
Yeah, like if you're doing a gauntlet match for men, I'd like to see like maybe a ladder match for women or something instead.
Or you know what? You're doing the men's gauntlet all in. Do the women's gauntlet at all out.
How about an exploding barbed wire death match?
I would love that for the women.
I can almost guarantee you AEW will try to do that again.
Oh, I'm sure.
To redeem.
They need to.
One. Because honestly,
Kenny Omega needs to be a part of it.
And because up until the end, that was a really good match. It's how you leave them, unfortunately. And they left it with a whimper.
That's one of the biggest blunders ever.
It's not even AEW's fault, which sucks.
Ugh, that was terrible. We've got Claudio defeating Lio Rush. And, this was a pretty good match. You guys know I like Lio Rush.
Lio Rush makes Claudio look massive.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, this was a pretty good match. There was a couple of pretty good spots in it. The crowd was into it. Obviously, Claudio was going to win this.
Of course. He's got his title match on Wednesday.
Yeah, nobody thought otherwise. But I thought this was a pretty good match. Like I said, I like Lio Rush. Claudio's grown on me a lot. So I liked him in this match as well. EVP, what'd you think?
I really enjoyed this match. Like, two different styles that work well. A powerhouse with Claudio and a high flyer with Lio. Like, they work really well together. I enjoyed it. It was fun. And like you said, was the outcome ever in doubt? No. But the journey they took to get there was really good, so that's fine.
Can you see this at all?
Oh, yeah. I can see that. Markova and the $1 Million Man.
I posted in the AFW community the $1 Million Baby and the $1 Million Man.
There you go. There you go. Hillary Swank and Clint Eastwood are going to sue us. Well. Canada, what do you have to say about this match?
Which one are we talking about?
Lio Rush against Claudio.
I liked the bumps that Lio Rush took. I found it entertaining. I think it wasn't a great match, but it was a good match, and I enjoyed it. I liked the spot when he threw him over the guardrail, and he's like, I'm just gonna win by count out, and he got back in. And to me, that was the highlight of the match.
Yeah, that spot where he just chucks him over the guardrail, that was pretty neat.
That would be something to see as a fan.
Yeah,
just sitting there,
especially if you were up close to that.
Yeah,
that would look really cool. All right, moving on. After that, we've got a little segment with Chris Statlander, Stokely Hathaway, and we find out what the stipulation is going to be for their match at All In. The winning team gets to choose a stipulation for the one-on-one match between Willow and Statlander at All Out. So, what do you guys think of this? Do you have any comments on this segment before we move on?
I love how Stat is just building up Stokely, and you can see on his face he's not buying it.
I think he said he's the real pit bull around here or something like that.
Yeah, because for those of you that don't know, Tomohiro Ishii's nickname is the Stone Pitbull.
Yeah.
So.
Can't have
what did you call him, Tom?
Oh, yeah.
Tom. Yeah, Big
Tom.
Tom.
Like,
That's
hey,
what Willow called him.
let's talk.
Come on, Big Tom, what's up? I'm excited to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty entertaining. It'll be fun.
And I hope they have some antics planned to like try and save his ass or something. Because just don't get his ass beat. You got to have some sort of comedy in there.
He's going to do an amazing sell job in this match.
He's going to run around the ring to save his life. He's going to run into the crowd. It's going to be a one-on-one match. Is probably
you know what he needs to do? He needs to scream when he's running.
You know he's going to. You know he is.
Guys, we are at what I know is going to be the two of you's favorite segment of the evening. I check in with Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston's at home. Figure 4 Online describes him as having a bushy McFoley beard. And he's sitting there, he's got his leg wrapped up, and he's talking about Bryan Danielson. I've been watching you lately. We need to get the good Bryan Danielson. Basically just saying Bryan Danielson show up and fight Swerve. Essentially.
So is he saying that Bryan Danielson doesn't have the hunger and the fire?
Yeah. This version of Danielson doesn't have the fire anymore.
I feel like we've already done this. We did this with Jeff Jarrett. Like, why are we revisiting this?
Well, there's something to his point, because it seemed like when Swerve says something like in his face, he doesn't get angry. So I see that.
People say it. Yeah.
He's just like, I'll take it. So I think that's on purpose. I think that's what they're doing. Just wanted to add, for the flower shop tonight, what you're going to pick is, if you're stuck on a desert island, one food that you would eat for the whole time.
Oh.
So you got time to think about that.
All right. And how long of a period of time are we talking?
Yeah, how long are we?
You're on a desert island for 1 year.
For 1 year.
Mm.
But you have the option of one food that you can have the whole time.
I don't know. Okay.
That's going to be tough. All right. Well, we've got Mariah May defeating London Dior, I think is her name. Obviously, this was a squish.
Another new fellow, Tony Hayes.
What's up,
Hello,
Tony
Johnny.
Hayes? Look at
That's
that picture.
yeah, that's quite the picture for your.
Yeah, that is an interesting picture.
Wow, is that a sloth licking the guy from the Goonies?
It sure looks like it.
Hey,
I didn't even know it was sloth until you pointed it out.
Welcome to the AFW network. But yeah, this was a squish. We get an interesting Tony Storm promo afterwards, entitled "My Final Gift," and you see her in a black wig. A story about the doctor recommending her to go see a clown named Pagliacci, and she said that Pagliacci should pay to see her. Really kind of odd stuff here, but anyways, this was an interesting promo. I wasn't sure where this was going, but the production value was fantastic. What'd you guys think of the squish match and the after promo here, EVP?
I mean, yeah, like once again, this wasn't about the wrestling. This was obviously to further the story. I don't know exactly. Like, it seems like we're getting. Hopefully, we'll get a new iteration of Tony Storm's character at All In. Let's see, because it's like she sort of changed her clothing, and I'm hoping that's what we get.
Your
So
wife is choosing pizza.
That's on my list of things to pick. So,
I guess we have to discuss whether we have the cheat code of can we vary the toppings on the pizza.
No, you cannot be varying the toppings. You get one.
Just one type of pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm one.
Right.
Now you want to go for as many toppings on there as possible because you can pick off, right?
Yeah. Well, but you got to think about like well, I mean, we can get to it when we get to that, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to get sidetracked a little too much here.
So Tony Hayes goes, I thought I had a gas leak in my house a few minutes ago, but it was just my cat taking a nasty shit in the litter.
Well, it's good that you
Oh,
don't
no,
have
we're
a
going to
cat.
die. Never mind. My cat just took a shit.
All right. We've got the main event now. FTR versus the Acclaimed, which ended in a time limit draw, which I knew was going to happen when the announcer lady. What's that?
Did you not question interference either?
Not whenever she made the announcement about 5 minutes. When she made the announcement about 5 minutes left, I was like, okay. It's going to be a draw.
It was going to be a time limit draw when the match started at 9:30.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought there was a chance that the Bucks might interfere, and then
that's what I was hoping for.
Whatever. But I thought what was going to happen here is that when it did go to a time limit draw, I know Shivani did his usual thing of Tony Khan came in the headset and told me they're all together. I thought what they were going to do is on Dynamite, the Bucks were going to come out and say, well, neither team won, so neither one of you are going to face us. And then Christopher Daniels overrules them later. I kind of thought
they didn't want to bother showing up to Collision. That's why this didn't happen.
No, I mean, they can't do that, though, because that's literally what they just did with Christian Cage. And
I just want to address Robert Brown's question because I think it's important.
Yes,
we go live 1:30 Eastern tomorrow. And we do it right after Dynamite. We do it right after Collision. Saturday mornings, 1:30 Eastern as well for Magic Wrestling. And then Liam's on there all the time interviewing British wrestlers.
So basically, hit that notification bell. Select all notifications, and you'll always know when we're live.
Yeah, you get at least 4 or 5 shows from us a week of different varieties. So
make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and hit that bell so you could interact with us here on the show.
Smash that subscribe button.
Yes.
You know what the YouTubers say smash? Like, I don't know why they say smash. Like, I don't want to like mash into my computer monitor here. I mean, I never
just lightly press it so it works.
Lightly click on it with your mouse cursor.
Yes.
All right. We're not smashing things around here. That's destructive. We don't do that. All right.
And also sometimes after AEW pay-per-views as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes after Mania and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Especially if they're on at noon. It helps.
We covered WWE pay-per-views too. Like we had a SummerSlam post show. We've had a WrestleMania post show. So yeah,
just the big pay-per-views though, not the B and C shows.
Right.
Right. I think we got to get a Rumble in this year.
Yeah, we got to get a Rumble. Yeah, we didn't do a Rumble recap, did we?
No, not yet, but I think that would be fun.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We might as well do it until they make that 2 nights as well.
EVP Joe is ready for WrestleMania to be a 5-night event.
Yeah, I mean, Punk said it best in AEW. Buy 4, get your 5th night free.
All right, this match definitely had some sloppy moments to it. There were quite a few blown spots.
Well, we got a lot of different people coming on here. This is crazy. The Hard and Soft Pro Wrestling Podcast is joining us.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome in.
Definitely go with All In. I love the big crowd.
Favorite? Are you saying we
like
think
this
the one
year
that's so
or just
far
in general? I don't know.
I don't know what my favorite one has been this year. I liked Dynasty.
I like the one where Swerve won the title. Which one was that?
Dynasty.
Yeah, I enjoyed that big time.
I have trouble remembering which is which.
It used to be
all
easy.
The pay-per-views are just amalgamated together.
It used to be easy, but now that AEW does one every month, it's like hard to keep track.
Like I can think of matches, but I have a hard time remembering like the event. But like I really loved, just for the nostalgia, like I loved the pay-per-view where Sting had his final match. Which one was that? Revolution. I love that one.
That was a really good pay-per-view.
Right?
Like that whole pay-per-view was really good.
Like if I had to pick one as my personal favorite, it'd probably be that one.
Because it also had Darby flying through real glass.
Yeah, that was absolutely disgusting. Yeah, so one of those things. Yeah, this match was a really good match. It was a bit sloppy. It was what it was. Obviously a time limit draw. But overall,
it was a good match, though.
It's a pretty damn good match, though. I liked it. Canada Draw, what'd you think?
I thought it was so much to take in with that 30 minutes, though. Like I can't pick out any spots, but the ending was really good.
Yeah,
they did the Shatter Machine on the FTR team, using their own move on them. A little bit of tricky sportsmanship there, but overall, I was entertained. when I wasn't talking shit to Caleb Bain in chat.
Now, why are you picking on poor Caleb? What did he do this time?
He started it.
Caleb Bain started it.
Oh, Caleb came out swinging.
Yeah, Caleb's like, you want to mess with me and my faction? And then so I'm like, well, I'm the commissioner. I can fire you, you know.
Now, I like the hard and soft pro wrestling podcast slogan. If you're not hard, you're soft. I like that. That's a good mantra to live by. If you're not hard, you're soft. And nobody likes a flaccid individual, right?
Well, I tell you, when I eat a peach, I don't want a hard peach. I want a soft peach.
Yeah. Well, but then there's things that you probably prefer to be hard, right?
Yes. Like I prefer hard ice cream over soft ice cream.
Yeah. We had a whole discussion of micro penises earlier, so EVP. What'd you think of the
now, would you guys say that this is a Canadian stream?
No.
Or not?
No, I'd say it's a mix.
EVP and myself are Americans.
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast of the United States.
We are an international organization here at the AEW
Network. We are an
Network.
international organization here.
Yes.
At the AEW Network.
Literally, we got Americans, we got Canadians, we got Brits. Hey.
We might have Scots.
Maybe.
Depending on circumstances. Yeah. Well, you got anything to add there, Mr. Dry?
Now, it's funny that we can laugh about it, but you know.
Now, Tony, I don't think we know anyone in our community who's from Portugal or Brazil that would speak Portuguese.
I don't think so, no. I don't think we do.
Sorry. Basically Canadians and Americans with a couple of UK people.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe a couple UK people. But yeah, like this match was fun. I enjoyed it. Max Caster, that rap he did backstage was, I couldn't stand it. I'm so just done with Max Caster. I know I say this every week, but
I think we need to get together Max Caster with Eddie Kingston, and we could call him the Canada Joe tag team of choice. Because you guys are gonna love it.
Oh God.
I thought the backstage rap wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. I liked it better. It was kind of like an old school hip hop, like freestyle kind of cipher type situation. Of course, Caster was the only one rapping, and a cipher usually they all do.
Yeah, I find it hard to like look past the fact that I hate him.
He's really like, I don't know. It's like he's let his mouth and his personality on like the Twitter world like completely ruin his image. Like he's just not very likable. He doesn't come across as very likable to me. And I know you guys feel the same way.
He's in the wrong company.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't think he wrestles. He's not a good wrestler. There's nothing memorable about him for me when I think of him as a wrestler. Nothing.
Yeah. Do you like how Nigel McGuinness was pumping him up as a great mat technician tonight? That he was a great technical wrestler.
I laughed every time.
I tend to tune him out sometimes. He gets on my nerves.
I don't know I would assume he was being facetious, but yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he is. I'm over heel commentators in wrestling in general.
Yeah, you don't like heel commentators, do you?
Because it was done to death in the WWE. And like I said it before, heel commentators make everything about themselves instead of adding to the wrestling, which is what commentators should be doing.
But I am from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada.
British Columbia, baby. He's a west side till he diz eyes over there in Western Canada. But yeah, but wouldn't it be great though if we had like a Bobby the Brain Heenan today doing commentary?
I mean, like Bobby the Brain Heenan was way more hilarious than anyone else who does it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, I love listening to him like during like World War III, where he picks someone and he's like, "Oh no, I meant this one," but no, look, this is my guy all along. Like, he's hilarious.
he switches up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Stokely Hathaway could be that guy. I could see Stokely Hathaway being that good.
I think he could do it pretty well. Yeah. I honestly think the WWE should use the Miz as someone like that, as like a heel commentator.
I hate it.
I think he would do really well at it. I do.
I'm not a Miz guy, so what do you think, EVP Joe? What do you think of Miz being a commentator?
I don't know. I legitimately, I would have to hear him, and not this when he's just in character talking about someone. Like, I would need to see him like fully do it. So I don't.
Did you guys like Macho Man and Roddy Piper when they were doing it?
I was young, so I don't really remember that, to be honest with you.
I thought Piper was pretty good. I didn't really care much for Savage doing it, honestly.
Yeah, the Macho Man thinks Bret Hart's the best world champion. Yeah.
Piper was all right at it, though. I thought he was decent.
Piper was decent.
Yeah.
Tony Khan is on this, giving his thoughts on this, talking about All in Texas on this show that's after Collision.
Don't be telling people to leave the show.
No. Multitask, guys.
Robert Brown thinks Miz sucks.
Miz suck. Yeah.
It's Bobby and Gorilla Monsoon were the shit.
Yeah. Yep. Bobby and Gorilla were great. Gorilla was also great with Jesse the Body.
If we're answering questions, you want to answer Robert's latest question real quick?
If I'm asked, have you all met any wrestlers yet?
I
have as well.
But I met them over in Iraq when I was deployed. Said I met The Miz, John Morrison, Batista, Punk, Alicia Fox, and Mickey James.
I've met R-Truth. I've met DOA, if you remember them.
Disciples of Apocalypse.
I've met Jim Cornette.
The only wrestlers that I've met have been via this podcast.
Yeah.
We had Markova on a couple times. We've had Brian Idol. We've had Buff Bagwell.
I met Hillbilly Jim, too. I forgot to mention him.
Nice.
Buff Bagwell, we had Adam Baum on the show when we asked him if when he pooped, it radiated.
I wonder if he's ever been.
I was like, has anyone ever asked you that question? He's like, nope.
Nice. Left an impression.
Oh my goodness. All right. So I guess that brings us to the end of the program where we need to go to the flower shop.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain the flower shop for our new viewers?
Can you do the Adrian Adonis bit?
Yeah. If you like old school wrestling, and I know you do, you can go to prowrestlingtees.com/Adrian Adonis because we run the official Pro Wrestling Tees store of the adorable Adrian Adonis. We are affiliated with his family. We run his store. So check out his store on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Even that's so crazy to say that we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Cool as hell.
So yeah, the bells and the whistles, the flower shop here. Who do you want to go first?
EVP. I'll put you up. You can go first.
Okay. So my match of the night is the main event. The tag match was really good. My segment of the night, I'm going to go with after Mariah May's match. It's pretty good.
The Tony Storm. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 3.75 bells. Good show. Definitely not one of the best shows, but it was not a horrible show. And for me, an item for 1 year, I'm going with a meat lover's pizza. You can always vary up the ratio of meat to give it a different taste.
Take the meat, some of the meat off, and like munch on it later.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. And Mr. Dry, you're up.
All right, I'm definitely going with the main event. That match kicked ass. My segment of the night, I would go with the Chris Jericho interview. I like the whisper. You like my jacket, don't you?
Yeah, that canary yellow jacket was interesting. Yeah.
I like that segment. The food I would eat on a desert island for a year. I'm going with a chicken vegetable stir fry.
All right.
Because you might as well eat healthy and enjoy your food.
Yeah. All right.
And my bell rating for this is 3.76.
Of course. All right, for me.
Now you have the option to Bob Barker me. You realize that.
All right. Well, for me, match of the night's obviously the main event. I mean, it was the best match. It was the most eventful match. It was a lot of kind of lopsided matches tonight. A lot of squishes, as we call them here in AFW. And segment of the night, I'm going to go with the Stokely Hathaway Chris Statlander. I thought that was really good. My bell rating for this, I'm going to go 3.25. I think this was an okay show. Didn't think it was great. I thought it was all right. It was entertaining, though.
I appreciate you didn't Bob Barker me.
I did not Bob Barker you because I was not going to give it that high of a rating.
But if
he pulled the equivalent of the $1 bid.
Yes, $1.
I gave it guys, I'm going with one bell here. All right. No, 3.25. And my food, I think I'm going to have to choose a pizza as well. It's going to have to be a New York style, so it's got really large slices. And I'm going to load it with every kind of meat and every kind of veggie imaginable. And
super loaded pizza.
Yeah.
So
that way I get
an ultimate supreme pizza.
Yeah. So basically I get a lot of vegetables. I get a lot of meats. So I got a lot of proteins. I got a lot of a mixture of various vitamins. And of course I get the carbohydrates of the pizza crust itself. So I think the nutritional balance of that would help me out a lot if that was the only thing I could eat for a year.
You know what else I thought of putting on my list? Because I love is watermelon. Like, just juicy.
Just watermelon for a year? Oh, my goodness.
Hey. So, real quick, before we sign off real quick. So, there's new AAA tag team champions that were just crowned.
Who is it?
And it's Jinder Mahal and Satnam Singh.
Oh.
With Jeff Jarrett, which blows my mind because it's AAA.
Wow.
Like, I didn't think that like AEW talent would be working with AAA. I thought they would be, since they work with CMLL.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either. Huh. That's interesting.
Maybe there's some mending of some bridges here.
Maybe.
Interesting.
And our average is 3.59. So
3.59. There we go. Canada F Dry, I will hand this over to you to initiate the closing festivities. One of us has got to blow out the torch, and we got to finish up.
I love the clothing festivities.
We don't have Snoop Dogg perform at our closing ceremony, unfortunately. Maybe next year.
On behalf of the FN Expert, on behalf of EB Joe, I have myself, Canada F and Dry. Sometimes in life, stuff happens, and it knocks you for a loop. It knocks you on your ass. And for whatever reason, you're depressed. You're not feeling the love anymore. You're not feeling the jive. It's okay to be down, but it's not okay to stay down. Do whatever you got to do to get out of that funk. You can reach out to friends. You can reach out to relatives. You can reach out to us. And we'll help you pull yourself out of that hole. So say with me, put the devil in a sharpshooter and just keep fighting.
This has been an effing worldwide media production. You can find us on all social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and others. Head over to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/effing wrestling. And while you're there, click like and subscribe. Want some swag? Head to our store at prowrestlingtees.com/effing wrestling. You can find all these links and much more at our awesome website, effingwrestling.com. As the JFB always says, you can book it.